test, 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 test.
Just show them. Well, this is on. This is on. This was, but this is. That's right. This is going to just for information.
No David tonight either? No David tonight either?
No, he's out this week. No, he's out this week too. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, I didn't feel so. I didn't feel so. I did the other.
I normally do them every.
Yeah, I think we all do. I think
They rotate.
Sure glad
That's
that,
why I just.
sure glad they're calling you, because quit calling me. Quit calling me.
Hey, they bring them to the store. Hey, they bring them to the
Nice,
store.
nice.
Oh, they do?
They know where to find you.
Yeah, they do.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
they do.
start bringing. I'm gonna go start bringing.
Where do you gotta go to? Where do you gotta go to? Oh, yeah.
Just,
Well, no, we have storms supposedly moving in like, we did Monday. So, that area is flooded. I saw that flooded. I saw right there at Marbach and all that was underwater. Where's she flying to? Where's she flying to? Okay.
okay.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We understand. We understand.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a long. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a long.
Who's giving the invocation?
You do. Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
Sir? Sir? Are you giving the invocation? Are you giving the invocation?
There's the architect. There's the architect.
David Simonson. David Simonson. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, just waiting on Deborah.
So.
Okay.
We have some good news. Yes, on this front, we got a camera to talk to the web. So we can live stream. But we still can't live stream directly to our website. It'll go to Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
In real time.
Awesome. All right.
Ready?
You ready, Deborah? You ready? All right. We're gonna convene city council meeting. We're gonna convene 5:30 in the evening. Do roll call.
Paul Carey with District
Do roll call.
2. Paul Carey with District 2.
Sheena Martinez, District 1.
Phil King, District 3.
Sheena Martinez, District 1.
Phil King, District 3.
Thought you were gonna chime in as Mayor Pro Tem. Okay, that's why I wanted to
Okay.
chime in as Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor
That's
and
why I wanted-
Mr. David Mers, District 4 are absent. Okay, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor and respect flag. Pledge allegiance to these, Texas, one state, under God, one.
And now we have Mr. David Simonson from Castroville Community Church to give our invocation.
Please. Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to gather tonight peacefully to discuss the governance of our community. I pray for our elected leaders and all those who are gathered with them, that you may guide us by your wisdom and by your grace. I pray for your protection over all those traveling tonight on our increasingly busy roads. Thank you for the rain Sunday as a reminder of your abundant provision, miraculous. In the name of your Son, my Savior, Jesus Christ, I pray.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, we're going to be opening up for citizens' comments. Please come forward, give your name, your address, and limit to 3 minutes, please.
Arnie Delassie, 109 River Bluff. Real short, just a reminder, we're 19 days away from July 4th. It will all occur on Thursday, July 4th. The parade, the shop and stroll afterwards, all the concert, skydiving in for the national anthem and the fireworks. So if you're planning on going, participating, or doing any of it, just plan ahead and we hope you're there. After the parade, the chamber will be giving away their watermelon slices as normal, and economic development, the Castroville Area Economic Development Council will be giving away their 150 hot dogs and chips and water and all kind of stuff like we have for about the last 12 years. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Art.
Anyone else?
Yes.
Hi, good afternoon. Sherry Biediger, 601 Washington, and I am on a committee that has invited a group of architecture and archaeology interns here this summer with the Medina County Pioneer Homes Documentation Initiative. And I have them here. So we have, now I'm going to go blank. Nicolina, Michaela, Consuela, Ruda, and Moshka are going to be here in Medina County all summer, surveying all of the homes that were built before 1890 so that we can move toward getting them some national recognition and protecting them, preserving them. So we're glad to have them. Have any questions? I would love to get a photo with you all if we have time for that.
You can put them in front of the council.
Can you do that real quick? Everybody stand.
Yeah, we can stand behind them, yeah.
Face that way. We're taller.
Yes, you should. Sherry.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you for helping us out.
All right, anybody else for citizens' comments? Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, was late. I'm too damn old Okay, folks, last council meeting y'all were talking about abolishing the late fee for the senior citizens. And y'all turned it into a huge nightmare. And I suggested this from the beginning, senior citizens to get that discount, fill out a form, sign it, and bring proof of their age, like a driver's license, ID, something. So why can we not use that same philosophy? And we're talking, not every citizen is going to be late every time that is a senior, but of the, I don't know, let's say 25% that are of the population going to be late because they are that fourth Wednesday of the month, then manually credit that late fee back out. It's simple, it's easy, doesn't require a system rewrite, and it's not a huge thing. As far as, what is it, a 10-day window after the 25th, you get a late note sent out, and they say you have to pay it or we're gonna shut you off by that 10th day. I think it's, I'm not sure, I didn't have time today to call and verify. However many days it is, leave that in place. You cannot have people that just simply don't pay their bill. So if they're late, but they do come and pay it before the cutoff, just credit back the late fee. It's quick, it's simple, it's easy, no coding, nothing required. I don't want to reinvent the wheel, folks. I just want to be one of the spokes that goes around, okay? All right, that was it for me. I can't, there's a bunch of questions I have, and in case y'all haven't heard, there is a public meeting tomorrow night at the American Legion Hall, starts at 7 p.m. Every one of you is invited, as are, and that includes city secretary, city administrator, legal counsel, whomever, developers, realtors, whomever wants to come is cordially invited to attend. It's not a witch hunt, we're not, I'm gonna be the moderator, and I'm not going to allow it to become a witch hunt. So, hopefully we'll get questions, there'll be sympathies eased on both sides of the fence, and we can move forward together. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else, citizens' comments?
Hi everyone. I'm Trish Markert. I'm actually a guest of the Kings at 502 Florence Street this the next 2 weeks, and I'm an archaeology professor from Western University, but I've been working in the county as an archaeologist for the past 7 years. And so I'm helping out with the internship program, and I just wanted to let everyone know we have an event happening in D'Hanis on Saturday. I've been working with a group of students on a virtual reconstruction of old D'Hanis based on archaeological and archival data. It's somewhat of a computer game, and it's just a neat culmination of a year-long project and 7 years of research in the county. So that's going to be at the Rhodey and Cook Building in New D'Hanis from 2 to 5 p.m. on Saturday. And this is just one part of a very long collaboration I've had with the Castro Colonies Heritage Association and Medina County Historical Commission and other community members in Medina County and Castroville. So I just wanted to let everyone know, and thank you all for welcoming me again and making me part of this community.
And you're bringing 4-year students.
That's right. I guess I should say we're going to be hosting a few other students, 2 fourth-year computer science students who have recently graduated. Actually, commencement was yesterday at Western. They're the designers of the game. I have a master's student coming down who did historical music design for the game. So she worked with German folk music and made an original composition, which is pretty neat. And I do have one other student joining me who's going to be doing a master's thesis in Medina County looking at German history. So those students will all be joining us over the next couple of days and staying for about 3 or 4 days over the weekend. So it's a good time to have students in Castroville. We're really excited to be here. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we should say, and I'm probably breaking protocol here, 4 of these students are from Notre Dame, and 1 student is Trisha's student from Quebec. Ontario, Western University in Canada.
I'm a newfie. Okay. Anybody else? Citizens' comments? All righty. Oh.
Thank you all for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, then move on to consent agenda. The meeting minutes from May 28th, the regularly called meeting. Anybody have a motion to accept meeting minutes?
I'll move to accept the minutes.
Anybody second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, it's approved. All right, on to board liaison reports. Airport did not meet this month, so I don't have anything. Phil, do you have anything?
The Historic Landmark Commission met on May 21st. There were four requests. Three of them were approved. One of them was Shell asked the property owner to come back with the alternate plan. And that was it.
Okay. And I see the library didn't have a meeting. Okay.
Well, the mic
I understand.
Okay. Mr. Mers is not here for Parks and Rec. Paul?
That was the meeting that I reported on at our last meeting, prior to the two zoning changes that were proposed.
Okay. And then the Economic Development Board? Yep, he's not here. All right.
That's quick.
Get through that. All right, now, on to Parks and Recreation Department. Consider and take appropriate action on awarding the construction package for the community center. It says, community center went out for construction bids for community center, or do you want to brief this? Oh, go ahead.
I'm happy to do it. We've got Jonah Lawrence Garcia with LPAs here. Of course, Jonah is our project lead on this pretty sensitive project in Central Park. As you may recall, this was bid out once. Reco. First off, I'm grateful to everyone who shows up, who bids. I know that sometimes it's tedious with contractors, cities and governments. There are all sorts of things that we want them to do that you don't necessarily experience in the private sector. So I'm always grateful when we see a turnout and interest. We kind of tried to purposely cast a broad net to get interest in this project. Unfortunately, the first time around, we only got one bid. And as I explained to the council at the time, that bid, there were two others that indicated we would have bid. Due to extenuating circumstances, they didn't get bid. And you all made the decision to reject all bids, back out for bid. And that always makes me a little nervous for a couple of reasons. One, we don't want to develop some type of reputation that we're wasting people's time, that sort of thing. And there's no guarantee you're going to get a bid. But I'm very, very grateful for LPA's efforts, for the contractors that responded, because I think we got 5 bids, 5 total. 5 or 6. So I guess 6 including Alamo Restoration. So very, very grateful for the activity. You don't always, again, it makes me nervous going into that, but we got other bids. Our lowest bid, and you'll see this in your packet. Let me just flip that real quick. Thank you, Deborah. Our lowest qualified bid came from Terra Construction, and the base proposal was $1,950,000, including the 3 alternates that we asked them to bid on. These are the appliances for the kitchen area. It's the shower building outside. That's a separate structure.
Can you say the base bid one more time?
Base bid was $1,950,000.
Okay, thank you.
What's that? Oh, yeah, all the supports in the back. And the total with all the alternates was $2,224,000. Now, our budget for this project, for the construction of the building, was $1.7 million. We have $2,250,000 set aside. $450,000 of that is bond funds that we borrowed. We allocated bond money. It is bond money that we allocated for. And that was, anyway. So we still, we're over budget. Phil Sheen kind of prepared this, how this, something from Alpel.
Oh, wait, cover discussion.
My paper.
He lays out kind of where we're sitting. There, just as a reminder to you all, yeah, I think this is this is kind of an extraordinary time as far as construction cost increases, what we're trying to do to stay in budget. I think there was a valiant effort made by LPA to stay within budget and still deliver a very nice project. Unfortunately, the bids came back and they're all over our budget. But that said, once the project is awarded, we can work with the selected contractor to then look at what alternate changes can be made. For that, and really it's up to you all, like what those would look like. I know that Lawrence, during this process, his second bidding process, he came to me at one point and said, hey, I've got a number of other alternates I'd like to add. I'll just tell you, I made the executive decision not to add those because in my mind, I did not want to add additional hurdles at that stage. Because if someone doesn't, it was, basically we were giving them 1 week to respond. And if you add a bunch of other alternates to respond to you and they don't get that back to you, well then they're disqualified. I do not want to create that opportunity, knowing that once you select it, you're still going to have those opportunities to do that value add with the person. So we didn't really get into some of those, but I would like, if you're, I don't want to drag out the conversation, but if you're interested in talking through kind of some of the different ideas that we came up with that we didn't ask people now, we can talk those through. But it's up to you. Yes.
I'd entertain.
So for that, I'll invite Lawrence Garcia to come up and, yes, please. So Lawrence Garcia, LPA, he's been really the main point of contact that has coordinated all the efforts on the LPA side, which has involved a lot of in-house folks and some sub-consultants for all kinds of stuff. So, I don't know, lots and lots of hours.
Yeah, thank you for all of you for your time. So we've been looking at a handful of options that can help bring this budget back a bit. So on the base bid, we had 3 alternates. Those are things we can look at. One was the residential appliance package. We could look at the opportunity of the city purchasing that yourselves, if there's value there. We have a landscape scope that when we were coming into this project, we did not anticipate including in base bid. So that stuff where we could, there's opportunities there where we can hem some of that back, look at opportunities for either the community to contribute, or we could also look at with irrigation from the base bid in that portion. So that's something we could also look at.
So claw out the irrigation and claw out the landscaping.
Yeah, and maybe portions of landscaping.
Is that the second item that's 39,000?
Yes.
From Terra. As you know, we have the shower building. Personally, I think that's something you're going to want to do at this point in the construction. Dollar for dollar, you're just going to get a better price doing that while the main building's being built. But that is broken out. I know constituents cared about that, having change in shower areas, so again, that would be something for y'all to consider. We've got currently, we have a breakout pricing on the civil documents where we have the drive included. So that's another portion where maybe we don't do the heavy duty asphalt drive, only the portions where we're doing the parking spots. That being said, that may not be best just in tying in, you may get a better, just drive from the Alsace into, what's the name of the drive? Alsace.
Well, it's Alsace, and it's a
Park Drive, yeah. So
I don't think
we could look at it, yeah, so the Park Drive, that's actually in front of the proposed building. That's something we could look at, removing from our scope.
How much was that?
We don't have.
You don't have numbers. You don't have
So
numbers.
all of these, so, I started talking with some of the contractors. They're playing their cards pretty close to their chest right now. But a lot of them are ready. Greco and Frontera, they were ready to propose VE options as well. So there may be more than this from this list. One thing we didn't initially consider was, I think the city was gonna do the fencing, but just integral into how we laid out the building, it really ended up being part of our building. It would be hard to do without the fencing, but maybe we'll look at cheaper options. Right now, we have a black Ameristar, kind of faux iron rod wrought iron, excuse me, fencing, so that's an option.
Is it in your landscape alternate?
I don't know for Frontera, we haven't, they haven't shared.
No, I thought in landscaping, I thought that's where you all put the fencing in.
I don't, and again, to get into the weeds with the GC, I don't know if Frontera truly captured that in the base bid or their alt, so.
But your alternate would list out what was in the alternate,
The
landscape.
land, it would simply say landscape.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so, lack of definition.
I want to just interject real quick. Just to be clear on the side, if you're to choose to fund it as designed, the amount of money that we need to go find is the $471,556. That's the over budget amount that's on Councilman Keel's handout. Of that 471, there's an additional 150,000 in bond funds that are unspent and unallocated, that are available to be allocated.
Out of the 1.7? There's above that?
Out of your borrowing, you borrowed 4.6 million. And I don't know if y'all recall, but there's several times we talk about streets and capital planning, and so we want to keep our powder dry, just in case this community center project comes out a little over. I anticipated it was going to go a little bit over, so we have about $150,000. So that 471 drops down by 150 to 320. And that would come out of your fund, and really the only other place to grab it is out of your fund balance. So your fund balance, which is now sitting around $4.5 million, would be reduced by 3. I want to be clear on that. As you think your mindset about easy options, it's a matter of, do you want to spend those bond funds long term, and then do you want to spend the cash that you have?
I'll be brief, there's just a few more items. We would look at the MVP, all of the mechanical, electrical plumbing. A lot of times we can spec just kind of over the top, this is all copper, wire. So that we would look at the aluminum option, stuff like that. Also with the HVAC, we have a pretty standard split system. I think we would also look at one different manufacturers into a packaged unit that may be more economical. We looked at that, and I think the engineer thought that there might be some savings in switching to the packaged unit. It is a bit of a visual eyesore. It's just a big monster with big ducts coming out of it, so that would be something to consider as well. We've got a stainless steel metal roof. We could do asphalt shingles, and we could look at a more economical door and window manufacturer. Right now, we've got pretty nice Pella spec. It was tough. We walked a fine line going from a larger building to a more Castrovilian building, I would say, that came with some nicer details and in some ways just a little bit more expensive. We really did try to mitigate that, address the site, really try to mitigate the just topography and just not having a lot of grade changes. We don't have additional retaining walls, we're able to utilize what was there.
So Lawrence, did you break it out into cost right now?
For the base bid, the 1.99, I believe I do have that. I think it came in at 305 or 306 for the base bid.
So $306 square foot for just the main building, and then the shower area, how big is that?
About 250 square feet.
So it's 250 square feet, but this bid was 205. So you're looking at almost $200 square foot for a CMU block shower building. And this is where I say, again, I appreciate this. I'm not trying to say anything bad about the contract, but it is frustrating with other things. How is it $200 square foot to build a CMU block shower building? This is nothing special, right? But it is. And it's, I can cry about all I want, but it is what it is. That's where the bids came in. The $305 square foot, I think probably is. I mean, if y'all remember, we interviewed the various architects. They kind of gave us what they thought and it was right in that range.
I looked at our,
Our original budget was a lot less than what it was.
well, historically, so I looked at some of our historical pricing. April 2022, we looked at a 7,800 square foot building at $243 a square foot. That was over 2 years ago. So that's increased by 25%, which
Inflation,
market,
yeah,
that's not-
inflation, and then right now materials, oh my God, materials are awful.
It's just, so, I do think we tried to stay with this standard, but, we wanted to deliver a nice product. You mentioned asphalt shingles, right?
Yes.
I think it's a terrible idea. I personally think it's a terrible idea. Which is one of the things that you mentioned earlier. I want to add this in, no. We can talk about that, but I'd rather not add that as an end than now. Let's see if the council has a desire, because ultimately,
I think one last thing we have some fairly nice decorative concrete as you enter the front building. I think that was one thing, Scott, you liked quite a bit, but.
well, it wasn't decorative concrete was being generous. I just didn't want white, like white sidewalks. We're in a park, and when we looked at the early designs, there was a lot of flat right as you came in front of the building. And that's why I was encouraging, no, we really need to landscape more of this. And to the extent that there has to be walkways between the buildings, I think those should look more earthy. And we talked about granite, and ultimately we decided to stain concrete, like stained or stamped concrete.
Yeah, they have a color.
I'm sure that adds some cost to it, but I just, again, I was trying to come up with things that I think are respect the regional park environment that this thing's going. It's a prefab building? Yeah, so early on, when we first started looking at this, the initial concept was we're just gonna build a metal building. And it would be a prefab building, and that was, I'm sure y'all recall, that was like the first budget we looked at. Once we got into congressional apportionment, or the 1.7, we began to look beyond prefab and look at something that'd be more in line with a building that's gonna last a long time, that's gonna serve the community, that's gonna reflect the character of Castro.
In our building system conventions are very standard, slab on grade, wood frame. I mean, we didn't do anything unusual here.
There's nothing fancy, really. There's some fancy parts in the door controls. We talked about that. That's that separate item you see broken out. ACS is going to do all of the low voltage. That's Alliance for Community Solutions, which is kind of a quasi-governmental nonprofit group that does that. And it's their strong belief that is a very competitive bid. Do you want to speak to that? Do you believe ACS's bid to be reflective of building the size?
So no GCs have provided pricing for that breakout yet.
Right.
I have asked the GCs to be ready for that, just so we know, hey, if we start to hand this back, what could we be
Because
looking at?
ostensibly, you would think that pricing we're getting from them, it should be very competitive. Because it's, again, they're a non-profit, they're not-for-profit. They get their hardware, et cetera, they get it much cheaper than you get it in the private sector. And there's no markup. They give it to you for cost. There's a markup on the total project for admin, but that's it. That's the markup. It's a markup. See.
Okay.
It looks like Phil's ready. Were there any other questions for staff or about this?
If the ACS low voltage electrical service, is it possible to build a building without that? It seems like it's inside the building. How do you build the building and then come back later and put the low voltage stuff?
No, it's not gonna be done, it'd be done in concert with the construction, at the same time, it's not done later, it's just done separately. In other words, it's not being asked to bid, it's part of the contractor's work, but they would be doing that work at the same time as the building's being built.
But it's not in, you have three alternatives up here.
It's not in there because y'all already, you guys are, the low voltage, you already approved months ago. So that's a separate contract, that's in what.
I thought we approved, I'll talk about that when we get. I'll talk
That's my
about it.
first question. Second question is, that's my first question. If we don't build the shower building when we build the building, how many toilet buildings do we have? How many that can be used by pool patrons?
You essentially have three,
By pool.
because you've got two that are on the pool side, and then there's one that you would have to walk around to the front of the building. And then there's one that you'd have to walk around to the front of the building to use, and then that third one that's facing the trail. And then that third one that's. I do want to mention. So if you look at the bid tab, which is in your supporting documentation. And I mention this because Alamo Restoration is here. If you wanted to hear from them, but they provided a. So they did provide a bid. But the bid was incomplete. It didn't have the bid sheet with the addendum acknowledgements. It's one of the things that we asked for, and it didn't have a cover sheet. And so for that reason, it's disqualified. That's why you see it. That's why you see it in that list. And we've had some internal conversation with our attorney because their bid was about $200,000 less than the lowest bid. So we had some conversation about could council award it to them anyway? And the concern there is because it was an incomplete bid. The cover page isn't a big deal, frankly, but not having the bid alternates, et cetera, it becomes an issue because all the other bidders provided it.
Can't, it was, whatever team it was.
You can't
We-
answer questions.
Yeah, we can't
Yeah,
answer.
well, so the way that it works is it's a sealed bid process where everybody.
Scott, we're not supposed, we've been told we're not supposed to answer. Oh, so any citizen can speak up and then.
That's up to her. If you don't want me to have the conversation, then have the conversation I want, that's fine.
What are our rules? What are our rules?
Again, as the chair, we're not going to that meeting.
Okay.
Right, this needs to be a discussion between members of the.
Right. So we can answer this one question and then press on. You won't follow the rules. Because you've already started. You've already started, so.
Thank you, sorry. I will look to you next time. So, the short answer is there is a process when we go, we follow purchasing regs, right? The state lays out for competitive bids, and we announce what the rules are gonna be at the very beginning. And it's all available online, you can download it, and it tells you, here's what you have to submit by this day and time, it has to be sealed. And the whole reason for that is to protect the individual bidders, and we really try to be, as ethical as, be fair and ethical with that process. Unfortunately, if once the rules have been kind of laid out, and then you go against them, even if you, in terms can answer, can you? Yeah, you could. It's not advisable yourself up to a lawsuit to one of the other bidders, because they're gonna say, wait a minute, I followed your rules, I did what your rules said, I was a little bitter, and now you've awarded this other person who didn't follow. And those lawsuits do happen, and that's the main reason why staff, the attorney would advise not doing that. It's just unfortunate, there are gonna be other opportunities, I think. This building being one of Alamo Restoration is a group that's been doing all of the prep work to be able to bid that project out. And they've announced their intention from the very beginning to be a bidder in that project, but they understand that it's gonna go through the same process, like it'll be a sealed bid. And even though they're the ones that actually designed it, they may not come out as the low bid. So that's been explained.
All right. We need to press on. All right, so any other questions?
You gonna brief this sheet?
Are you gonna brief? Yeah.
That's why I was waiting for my turn to talk. Yeah.
All right.
As you know, my background has been construction engineering my whole life. I have been with the church, a $4.5 million job. I was program manager for the church. I sat with LTA architects and sometimes had to really raise my voice at the meetings and say, this thing's going over budget, and we can't, because we only have so much money. Scott, 2 months ago, you sat there and said, we're not gonna exceed 2,150,000. We're not gonna exceed the $1,700,000 in the grant, and the $450,000 that the city committed. So that was $2,150,000. Then the bids came in last time, and we were $750,000 over budget. And this time, this come in, and we're $470,000 over budget. So when this happens, you start taxing, because again, the city has already committed $450,000. And now we're gonna ask to get another $470,000. I don't care which kitty it comes out of, it's still coming out of a city kitty. So that's $920,000. And, people come to us, and Kyle wants us to build an Allen shelter. The people in the neighborhoods that come to us and they want drainage issues, and we say we have no money to take care of those things. So my way of correcting this thing is that we do away, we accept the base bid, as is. We don't accept any of the alternates. We don't need the alternates now. That's not to say that we're not going to include them later. We can include some of this stuff, can come back, and if Scott can fit it into the budget this year or next year, we go and do it then. As far as not building that shower building now, we can build it cheaper later on. In relationship, so we can build it ourselves. We don't need a general contractor to do it, and you can save a whole lot of fees then, and overhead, and everything else. It's already designed. So we can go build it ourselves. And then also, I don't think we can afford the $174,000 in the low voltage electric system now. So we put that aside for now. And if you take those three alternates and that out, you now have reduced the total expenditure by basically $450,000. So now we're only $23,000 over what we had committed to build this building for. So my recommendation is to accept the base bid, don't accept any of the three alternates, don't accept the ACS low voltage electric system. Scott, when that came in, you told us that the design was, but the actual fee to do it was not. So I don't think we,
We'll
go back and check that.
I think y'all approved the contract.
The contract, but we were always told, I was always told that we could not, we don't have to hire them to do the actual work. They were just moving forward early on with the design. But they haven't expended anything now, and if we tell them that we just can't afford this now.
Well, they have expended it because they've designed the system.
I'm not talking about the design, so if
All the software stuff.
well, they shouldn't mean software,
All the
just-
hardware.
yeah, so they haven't bought the hardware.
I don't believe so.
But again, I'm making major cuts because I think we need to make major cuts. And
I understand, I just
every
have
time-
clarification.
Okay.
And also, I don't want y'all making a misinformed decision. I want you to be clear that, I need to go back and verify the merits, because the way I understood it, what was signed is I have to sign a contract and then do that work. My other question that would be clarification is, if we don't do that low voltage, and don't take this as, this is your decision, so I'm not, I have no pride of ownership in that respect. Would it be, is your recommendation then to go to key locks? We still need some amount of low voltage, I would expect. So what the low voltage currently includes is cameras, fire alarms, security alarms, door controls, and the computer bank, if you will, that controls all of that in a closet, in like an IT type closet setup. To do that the dumber way, if you went that way, you get brakes through the doors, or whatever, and like we do in all our other buildings, you go to key locks.
Wait, my recommendation is at this point in time, just like every other city-owned business building, we build key locks. We have cameras and motion detectors and fire detectors. You can do all that stuff for $10,000 instead of this $100,000+. We don't need magnetic door locks. And as far as security systems, you basically just use standard off-the-shelf video security systems that are not a big deal at all. But again, in my mind, we shouldn't be here today because we're up against the wall. We have to approve this thing tonight. We don't have time to go back and renegotiate or anything. So if we do that and award this for the contract of 1.7 million and go back to ACS and says, we're gonna revise your contract and not have you install it now, if ever. If we can, and in my mind, what I recall you telling me is we can do that, then, now if then LPA can work with the contractor and look at these additional things, you can always make those changes down the road, but we have to award a contract tonight for a fee. And I don't think we should have any of those three alternates in there right now and worry about fitting those in through our regular budget in the future. Including the ACS system. I want to bring that back.
Actually, ACS system still needs to have to be a separate item. It's not on the agenda for approval or disapproval or any of that. We'll have to bring that back, and I'll have to clarify with them, how much money have they already?
Yeah, so my first motion would be is that we award the base contract for $1.7 million to Frontera. We tell LPA.
It's not 1.7, it's 1,990,000.
Excuse me, 1,950,000. Thank you. 1,950,000. We approve that tonight. And we ask LPA to go back to Frontera, look at other things. We can add and delete them and change order it, but I don't want to go over that number. And at the same time, Scott, okay, so that, in my, I don't know. So that's my first motion. And then, I don't know if I can add instructions to you, but.
You've already told me what to do with ACS.
Yeah, come back and bring that to a future council thing.
Figure out what we now have between now and then, what we can.
Okay.
Clarify why we have this.
Yeah, so the USDA funds that are, oh, so it's not USDA, it's congressional appropriation that we have received. The funds have to be, what's the term?
Allocated.
It's not, either one of those. But that's the gist. They have to be done tonight. Obligated. They have to be obligated by a certain date, a certain date, a certain date.
Yeah.
So we really don't have time to go back out for bid or any of that. We have to obligate the funds tonight. Now, obligating the funds, if you award the bid, as Councilman King has just motioned, that was your motion, right?
Yes.
As you just motioned, then that does not preclude you from doing the VE, the value add type stuff with the contractor, correct?
Value adds and deducts.
Right? So we would award for 1,950,000 with the right to make additional changes, VE type changes. Yeah.
As a contractor friend once told me, on an adding machine, the negative is, no, it's half the size of the positive. But, so in other words, if you come off and add, but yes, we can, and that's why I said for LPA to continue to work with them and make things change around and see, and maybe we can bring some of this back in. For instance, they could get $100,000, $170,000 savings, I'd say go ahead and put the ACS stuff in there. Because that would probably be the easiest one. And I know a lot of that money's been expended, but hopefully just a third of it. But again, my motion is to award the contract for $1,950,000.
Okay. Paul?
You want comments or?
Yep. Your turn.
No, I realize that we are under the gun to take some action right now. And I like the suggestions, as you said earlier, we can work with our expenditures after we award contract, and that's what we're gonna have to do. That's where I'm at.
Going back to your motion with the approval of the 1.95 would you consider any of the alternatives that LPA suggested when you was briefing us about looking at plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and the aluminum, or?
Well, he has no numbers. So
Right,
they can
right.
continue to talk to the contractor
Right,
and bring that back to change.
Okay, okay,
But
okay.
right now, tonight, all we can do is look at the hard number.
Gotcha.
And obligate ourselves.
What is the required class pass?
There's,
Yeah.
yeah, there's no minimum vote, it's just a simple majority.
Simple majority?
I'm gonna go ahead and second.
Okay, Paul second. So the motion is to award.
More discussion.
Oh,
I got a lot,
yeah.
I got a lot of
Okay, go.
This is what we did with the sewer plant. And we paid through it for a long time. And I can't support this unless we define what these alternatives are gonna be, how much they're gonna cost roughly, when we're gonna put them in the CIP to be done, and how we're gonna pay for them. Now, we can do that tonight. We can go through each one of them, and we can decide. But I'm not gonna vote for a building that, how can you get a certificate of occupancy if you don't do any of this stuff? I don't see how you can do it. Now, I can see why it's important to award the contract. And I could vote to do that if I knew how we were gonna do the rest of the job. But I heard the gentleman from LPA talk about quite a number of other things that are not in these prices. Right?
Right.
Fences.
Well, first off, the alternates, none of that's required, otherwise they couldn't put them as alternates. If they're required to get your certificate of occupancy, they can't make it as an option. So those things can be taken. These other things, they don't have the cost for them yet, so they don't know how to do it. They need to come back and tell us, hey, we can take these out and add these here, and we'll then have a change order to it. But a change order to the original contract.
I do want to point out, so one of the alternates is all of the kitchen appliances. So those, you probably still want to have kitchen appliances in the kitchen. They aren't really,
Not for $30,000.
Yeah, right, that's my point. So, yeah, as a finish. The contract providing is 30 grand, but I just want to point out, there's still a cost there. Obviously, I don't know what that cost is, we'll have to go cost out those items, if we're going to purchase them individually, and we'll look at, maybe we don't get this size model, we get this size, we get this size.
But put that in your budget, that's a budget item.
Right.
Because it's gonna take a year to build it, so you have a year to put it in the next year's budget.
Yeah, and there's no way in the world, $30,000 for appliances? I don't think so. And are they gonna be gas or electric?
Oh, electric.
Okay. Yeah. Other questions you have?
So can we modify the motion and add these, I guess they would be phases? We would call them phase one, appliances,
But see,
phase two, landscaping.
We don't need the contractor to do those. We can do those ourselves outside of this contract by doing it through the simple budgetary process that we are gonna direct Scott.
You can't do it for free.
No, but you can, just like we buy a truck and they budget in that truck in next year's budget. Because remember, this is gonna take a year to build this thing, so we can budget in buying these appliances. We can budget in doing what landscape we think is necessary. There's other things like Scott mentioned, and they mentioned this extra concrete. Have you all been to Blue Lacy and seen that real nice concrete, that's kind of a tannish color? They got that by simply throwing rock salt on there. Didn't cost anything. It cost nothing extra. I put that down, it doesn't cost any extra except a bag of rock salt. You put it down there, and it makes that really neat little thing. So just go look at, right outside of Respect's office there. Those are changes that you can do to get the cost down, but we can't work those into the concrete, into the contract tonight. The only thing we can award the contract is a number they've given us to come back and say yes or no. But we do need LPA to look at all these things and then come back and tell us cost changes, add additions or deletions to get back. We can't program manage the alternates other than we can tell Scott, we want to plan how we're going to get these others done. And throw it to him.
But,
So there won't be any budget.
It won't be
There
under
won't be
the,
anything in the CIP for these alternatives.
Unless we put them in.
can be next year, yeah.
You can put them in there next year.
You can put them in the budget for next year.
Put them in next year.
The problem with the sewer,
Next 10 years.
the problem with the sewer plant was that those were absolutely necessary items that should have been built in the first place, that we had to build, no ifs, ands, or buts.
well, and then as far as the ACS stuff goes too, you gotta have a fire system, sprinkler system and all that to get certificate of occupancy. So we're gonna have to pay for that right up. We can't put that. It's good to put it all at the same time though.
Well, no, I'm not saying, you still have, that's a separate contract, that's not the contract that's one tonight, we don't even have to discuss that.
Okay.
But we have to discuss tonight is awarding a contract for $1,950,000 on Jared.
Okay. All right.
May I speak on the behalf? My name is Jonathan Clark. I am the owner of Alamo Restoration. I do work closely with Scott. I am helping design a new building for the city hall here. My bid, I came in on short on the alternates. If you're kicking the alternates out right now, that's one thing that I was not familiar with this kind of bidding. I've been in business quite some time, been in the industry a longer time, but I missed it by the cover sheet. My wife was supposed to put the cover. I went to kids camp. It doesn't make a difference. My wife forgot to put the cover sheet in the envelope. The cover sheet with the alternates on their cover sheet. My wife forgot to put it in there. I got a call. My wife came down, gave them the paperwork, and that's what I'm missing. So if y'all kicking the alternates out right now, I was just missing the cover sheet. My bid is $1.7 million. Everybody else is $2 million. I'm 1.7. I can be closer down to like 1.6, but some of the things I'm already hearing to take out. So I would ask y'all as council to reconsider me, see what you thought. Like I said, I work with the city of Castroville. I've done the police station, done the library. I've done some work here at the city hall itself. Just want to know y'all's opinions, what y'all's thoughts are. I know y'all pushed it out a week ago, 2 weeks ago for a new deadline. I'm not sure. I know that's the 14th. I believe it has to be in by the 14th to be funded. Let's push, if you can't possibly push it out. I know there's rules, I know there's laws, I know there's a lawyer involved, but I'd love to have this job. I am a resident. All these other bidders are not residents. I do live in River Bluff subdivision. I reside here. My family does. Everybody knows who the Clarks are. My wife's very, very involved with the police station, things of the nature. I want this job, I'll be honest with you. I want it. And I want to be successful with it. I want every one of y'all to be a cheerleader for me. I want everybody like, look what Alamo Restoration has done. Scott fills that direction at certain times as well, and I just want to continue with that. So if y'all would see beyond my error of not getting the cover sheet in, I apologize for that. My wife got it in as soon as she can. I was out of town at kids camp, church camp, and I had no phone service until I got into town. When I got into town, I got service, and I got flooded with all kinds of stuff. And I got a call from certain different people asking me to get it in. I got it in, and this is where I'm at now. And my bid's 1.7. We're actually, all these other things you're pulling out, we're about 1.6. Just throwing the number.
Okay. What are the rules?
Well, you have a motion and a second
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
floor.
What's that? Sure.
Correct, and those are the things that I asked you, I called you about. I asked you if you do not mind sending me an email, and I never got it.
Can't do
All right.
it.
So those items.
Yeah,
Those items
yeah.
are also missing.
Okay. Cynthia?
I wasn't aware of that.
So based on the information I'm hearing, it would appear is that the bid for the Alamo Restoration did not meet all the bounds of the application.
Okay. Okay, so we can't.
That's what it sounds like. And that's what your agents are representing.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, any other?
I say it should not be considered.
Right, your folks that evaluated the bid were indicating that the bid did not meet all the requirements of the bidding process.
I'm new at that.
Yeah, I know you don't want to because of client privilege. In the construction world, you have to abide by the bid process. The architect gives out a bid process. And it's unfair to the other bidders who do meet that process, meet those guidelines, do the submittals. And they have to trust that the owner is going to then, I mean, if we were to award it to someone who didn't meet those criteria, we would be hearing back probably justifiable from a legal standpoint from those other bidders. So we don't want to go there.
The other thing is, even if you didn't get challenged legally, then next time you do a bid, the bidders now know, oh, well, I don't have everything in there, it doesn't matter.
And if it wasn't for this deadline of the 14th, we could do the same thing we did tonight that we did last time. But we can't. We cannot rebid this in 3 days.
No, you don't have time. That's the challenge. We knew we had to obligate to all 14, that's why we chose to hurry up timeline.
So, Judge, I would love to entertain your bid, but legally, we just cannot.
Okay, so we got a motion from Phil to award the base contract for 1.95 million. It's just the base bid. And a second by Paul. Any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor? Aye. All those against?
Nay.
Yeah, I said aye. So does that mean it passed? Okay. All right. Next item, consider to take appropriate action on the purchase of a restroom trailer. Jonah gonna speak on this, or you?
As y'all seen before, we brought it back, you had a couple of questions. I'll address one of them right away. So we did reach out to see, can we get a better deal? I think one of the things is this the rock bottom price, get a better deal? Well, I didn't talk personally to the city administrator, but the city administrator for the city that's selling this trailer was contacted and said, no, that's our best offer. Because I think that's the offer, as I understand it, that's what the company that they bought it from is willing to pay, basically buy it back for them. So they know that they've got another offer to go that route. And then there were some other questions that are in the cover sheet. So the weight of the trailer, the various trucks that could transport it, that kind of thing. I shared this with the mayor. I think we shared this last time, just to remind you. Staff is bringing it forward as a potential solution, not just for the pool and be able to provide restrooms for the pool right now, but as a potential resource for an event. And whether it'll be a break-even proposition is arguable. Like, it'll be about, we're spending about $8,000 a year right now. I say we, what I mean is all of the various events. As those prices have been going up. I think Martin's back there, what he's seen when he contacts people to try and get restrooms. So we know those prices change, but we also know that this is one size that does not fit all. In other words, it's 10 restrooms, but for instance, on the Tour de Castroville, you gotta have restrooms per route, so those restrooms still have to rent. So it's not gonna replace every restroom rental that we do throughout the year, but it, like I said, there's a better than 50% chance that it will actually pay for itself if you just look at our current. So that's why we thought this was a worthwhile thing to move forward as an idea. It helps us with a current problem for the pool. There are other solutions, Councilman King and I were talking earlier, and we're not discounting that. There can be other solutions where we just set up a sink or something else and open the pool for free swim. This was something we looked at a while back, and so we're bringing it back. I don't.
Which one are we buying?
This is a 10 restroom trailer that's being offered by the city of Jacksonville, Texas.
Used trailers.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different pictures, but it'll be the first set of pictures where you have all these indoor. That's the trailer you're buying. And it's the one that has a white pickup. Now, all the logos that are on it, so that is the actual restroom. Those logos have all been removed. So it's just a white exterior bathroom. But I kind of, again, I think I said before, I'm not married to this either. It's just an idea. If it's something you want to do, we'll do it. No, you're not going to lose any sleep.
Okay. All right, discussion.
We haven't obviously budgeted for this, and it's considerable expense. Not terribly excited about it.
I'm not excited about it.
Okay.
How are we gonna pay for it?
It would just come out of your fund balance.
Fund balance? I don't have any other questions.
Okay. Couple of things I thought of was, how are we gonna, if we got it, how are we gonna service it? Like, where do they hook up the trailer to flush out?
We'd use the RV park.
Hook up the RV park to flush out?
We'd use the RV park.
And then it mentioned renting out for people that want to use it. All right, will the rentee be responsible for emptying the contents, or are we going to charge the
No,
fee?
we'd probably do that. The rentees, we're not talking about the public generally, this would be like the Chamber of Commerce. We're not talking about the public generally.
The rentee.
This would be like the Chamber of
So-
Commerce.
By the way, Herb over there is
The rentee.
certified. By the way, Herb over there is certified.
I'm not going to volunteer Herb for that.
You certainly could find a reasonable cost and have reasonable protection and have reasonable deposits. I think it's a reasonable thing to do. I think this is a good idea. I believe we absolutely have to have this, if we're gonna keep the pool.
Yeah.
Well, going back to that, we don't need this pool. We can use porta potties up there right now. They have porta potties out. They add it there, fine. You can either rent the hand washing or just simply go buy one of those portable sinks from Home Depot, garden hose up to it. I've done that in pools in the past. And you can go wash their hands. And as I've mentioned, I think at the last meeting, we serve food all the time with porta potties. And this is a pool, and I don't think we need a higher set of hygiene at a pool than we do when we're serving food. But we can get around the hand washing thing very easily.
Yeah, you can get the hand sanitizer like we did during COVID. And everything, they have hand sanitizer stands.
But they also, if it's open water and all that.
Yeah, I don't, and that's why I was trying to be careful. I don't want to look at this as exclusively a solution for the pool. While it would offer that benefit, there are other solutions. And this is more about, it's just a target of opportunity. We were asked 3 months ago, hey, you want this trailer, you can speak up now. So we brought it forward. That's kind of where we are right now. Like I said, there are other rentals that are taking place that we do have budgeted. And I think the city's budget for restrooms is, I want to say for our events, it's about half of that, $8,000 maybe, is our portion right now. So we're spending for just shy of $5,000 a year on restrooms that we rent for our events.
And we know that even with this, we would still have to spend money.
Sure, there's supplies, they wouldn't be $5,000.
Right. It wouldn't be $5,000.
I don't know what it'd be, it'd be hundreds, not thousands.
I mean, take 10 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that takes a decade to pay.
Yeah, if we were the only resource, but we discussed this idea, gosh, now almost 2 years ago with the collaborative, we were trying to decide, this was before this thing came available, a long time ago, when Devin was here. This was an idea that was proposed because we were all facing increased prices on restrooms at the time. Ultimately, y'all decided not to do that either, so.
Yeah, because I looked at the math for renting based on, say, $5,000 a weekend for a three-man, three-woman restroom trailer. For 13 weeks to cover the summer for the pool, comes out to $65,000. So, oh.
No, we don't need it.
That's
Yeah,
if you're,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
going
Yeah.
It's expensive to rent.
Yeah.
The big, if you were to go rent this tent, we don't rent a 10 restaurant trailers typically because of that, because they're not cheap to rent.
Right.
We generally rent a little bit smaller. The one over here for July 4th, is that 8-holer? 336. And what was, that's like $3,000?
But that was before we built bathrooms. I don't know.
No, we still, I think we still.
Why are we renting them now that you have the new bathrooms? You can supplement those.
I just
don't be spending money.
I'm just telling you, what we've done in the past, even though we've got those restrooms there, because of the size of the event, anticipating the size of the crowds, the committee that does July 4th has agreed that we need to continue to rent that trailer. Am I misspeaking, Arnie? Are y'all still planning on renting a trailer for this event?
I think one, but comparing it to pricing for individual projects. Yeah, and the thing with Honey Bucket is the cheapest in the area, but it's, and their pricing doesn't equalize it. They rent it for one day, for one unit, $150. If you rent it for a month, it's $150. And they come clean every week, and that's included in that fee per month. And there's a delivery fee of $55 one time, pick up that. The best example recently, a lot of it was spent. We rented for Easter, the Eclipse, and the Hurdy Cab, which was in a month. 12 units, including moving them all over the Hurdy Cab, coming and cleaning and all that kind of stuff. And it figured out $4,200 per month. And I don't know, $102.
Anyway.
All right, you got a motion?
I move we approve the purchase of a restroom trailer for an amount not to exceed $75,000.
Got a second? Well, I mean, I see we need it, so I'll second, if I can.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I just asked.
Yeah, the mayor doesn't.
Okay. All right, so we got a motion and second. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those against?
No.
So,
Yeah, this is why you have 5 people.
yeah.
It's a split vote.
And in this case, with the Robert's Rules of Order,
Okay.
So it comes out of no.
Now, the council people who are not here can make a motion at a future council meeting to bring it back up, right? If they didn't vote against it.
it can be on an even by
Okay.
I just don't know if this particular trailer will be available, we can always look at other options. This one is 117,000 used. We found one other example of a used one. Do you remember how much that one was?
Yeah, you put the thing in there.
Anyway.
About $3,000 more.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more expensive.
Even if we had bought this, I would recommend one of the schools and look at it. I mean, it's 5 years old. And, but since we didn't vote for it.
Yeah, I believe that Robert's Rules said if the prevailing side can bring an item back, but since we don't have a prevailing side, then it can be brought back.
Okay.
Robert's Rules.
All right, next item, discussion on future agenda items.
At the next meeting, I'm gonna, the Castro County Church Association, which has a license agreement with the city of Castroville for the Living History Center. They have gotten a $300,000 grant. That gives them $502 in cash. So we are moving forward with, we'd like to move forward with the construction of the visitor center / museum building. And I'm gonna bring that on the next, at the next council agenda, because we have to ask city council to move forward with these projects. presentation with action.
I have some items on
Okay, okay. Oh, you got
None for me,
it.
none for me.
Bert?
Yeah,
Bert?
yeah.
A couple of things, so joint planning and zoning commission, I do have confirmation, it appears that everyone's available June 20th. So if you would put that date on the calendars, we'll do it like we did last time, where both groups will set the meeting, they'll both open and both close the meeting, we'll do it in here. So that'll be June 20th. There should be a calendar invite to go out very, very soon to council.
5:30.
I have it at 6.
Couple other, this is more of announcements, if it's all right. No deliberation, announcing stage 4 water restrictions are in effect. We of course have gotten some rain in this area, so that could go on a average. We'll see when they update the 10-day average, we'll go back to a 3. But be that as it may, just be very, very cautious with your water usage. Water quality report is out on our website. Quality report is out on our website. So just be there and available.
It was also put on Nextdoor. I saw it on Nextdoor. I saw it on Nextdoor as well.
Farm-wide. Thank you to Kathy Adams and John Gomez. The summer service projects at the regional park, normally do one every month, June, July, August. Due to heat and other, due to construction and everything else, those will all be canceled. The next service project, as of right now, will be in September. And then, the only other comment I was gonna make, y'all are aware, there have been some personnel changes at the library. The library manager is there, Angela Alejandro, is no longer with the city. I am looking at getting an interim library director in there as quickly as possible. But we're able to identify, I think four seasonal part-time folks have already been onboarded and oriented, and they're helping out the library. So we've got a full staff there. There are some summer programs going, and some other things, so it's important to get that going, but I'll continue to update you all on that. The posting for the position, for that library manager position, should be live today or tomorrow. We gotta get posted in the paper as well, but posted to try and get it filled as soon as possible.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Alrighty. All right, well, we are through the agenda and adjourned at 6:41.